ورسوله الكريم أما بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Welcome to Saut al-Quran. Alhamdulillah, it's the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now we are doing Juz 30 and we will do Surah An-Naba to Surah An-Nas. Just we are doing short summary in English. For detail you can refer to Talim al-Quran inshallah. أما يتساءلون عن النبأ العظيم الذي هم فيه مختلفون. About what they are asking one another, about the great news. What is that great news? About day of judgment. But they disagree about that. Kalla sayalamun. They are going to know that no, they are going to know. And what will happen, we created in pairs, we made you sleep, means for the rest, and made the night as a clothing, made the day for livelihood, and construct you 7 strong skies and burning lamp. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning so many things, and people who will go to hellfire, they will not taste therein any coolness or drink except scalding water, foul things, and indeed they were not expecting any account because they denied it. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, but on the other way, inna lil muttaqina mafaza, indeed for the righteous, hadaiqa anaba, gardens, grapevines, and all the good things, and the nice cups, and how they will be served. And here we see how beautifully has been mentioned, indeed we have warned you of the near punishment on the day when a man will observe what his hands have put forth, and disbelievers say, oh, I wish that I were dust. Surah An-Naziyat, وَالنَّازِيَاتِ قَرْقًا وَالنَّاشِطَاتِ نَشْطًا وَالسَّابِحَاتِ سَبْقًا وَالسَّابِقَاتِ سَبْقًا. By those angels who extract with violence. What they extract? They pull out the soul from every hair, every nerve of the body. But by those who remove with ease, in the second ayah, nashitati nashta, they do it very smoothly, very nicely. By depend on your deeds, how you are. If you are wretched, then vannaziyati gharqa. But if you are nice, nashitati nashta. By those who glide as swimming, those who race each other in race, and those who arrange each matter. On the day the blast of the horn will convulse in creation. And here later it says, and go to Fir'aun, from ayah number 17, go to Fir'aun, indeed he has transgressed. Say to him, would you be the willing to purify yourself? Asking Fir'aun to purify yourself. And how Musa alayhi salam went, but Pharaoh denied and disobeyed. And later we see in ayah number 30, and after that he spread the earth, he extracted from its water, pasture, mountains, how firmly set. And in the end Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, then indeed paradise will be his refuge. They ask you, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, of the hour when it's arrived. Only Allah knows about the hour. Suratul Abasa, Abasa wa tawalla an ja'ahul ama, talking about a blind person. And blind person was here Maktoum. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was talking to elite people, so he didn't realize when he asked this blind person, this Sahaba, he made a face like a frowning, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saw and didn't like it, and so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, maybe wama yudrika la'allahu yazakka, but what make you perceive, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that perhaps he might be purified. Who purified? About this Sahaba Maktoum. Or be reminded, and the remembrance would benefit him. You are going towards the elite people, maybe they don't take heed from that. What about a person who is willing to learn the deen? Teach them, perhaps he will benefit. So same thing for us. Sometimes don't see how many people are coming and how many people are learning. If one person is also learning and getting benefited, that's enough. Amma man istaghna, because as for he thinks himself without need. And people, those who are elite, they think they don't need anyone to him. So you give attention. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah is asking you give attention to them because they don't give anything, Kalla innaha tazkira. No, indeed these verses are reminder. And here beautifully explained, and later on the topic changes, and how we pour down water in the torrents. We broke open the earth, splitting it with spouts, and caused to grow with it grain, grapes, herbage, olives, palm trees, how it grows. Everything was mentioned. But in ayah number 38, but some faces that day will be bright. Wujuhun yawmaizin musfira, dahikan mustabshira, laughing, rejoicing. And the day will, because of they'll be going to Jannah, they have a good news. What about the other way around? The people who is black and gloom will cover with the disbelievers, they will be the wicked ones. And the next surah Takwir, when the sun is wrapped up in darkness and the stars fall dispersing, when the mountains are removed, set in motion, when full-term she-camel are neglected, when the wild beasts are gathered, all the signs of Qiyamah are mentioned. And here indeed the Quran is a word conveyed by a noble messenger, means Jibreel al-Islam. And here it's beautifully explained how it's going to be on the day of judgment. Al-infitar is a samau fatarat, when the sky breaks apart, when the stars fall scattering and erupted, and the graves are scattered. And Ya ayyuhal insanu ma qarraka, O mankind, what has deceived you concerning your Lord, who is so generous? And here, be noble, everything has been recorded, whatever we are doing. Indeed the righteous will be in pleasure, and indeed the wicked will be in the hellfire. And Suratul Mutaffifin, it's like you are decreasing a little 0.01% also. So here, woe to those who give less. How the people of Shoaib al-Islam sect was doing the same thing, not to decrease anything. When they take measure from people, they take in full. But when they give up the measure, they wait to them, they cause loss. You understand what is it? Even the small, minute loss is a loss. And do they not think that they will be resurrected for a tremendous day? Again, the day of resurrection, in Juz 30, talking about day of resurrection with lot of kasra, again and again, and in a different form. And Kalla inna kitab al-fujjar lafi sijjin. No, indeed the record of the wicked is in Sijjin. What can make you, what is Sijjin? The destination record in a registered inscribed. Woe the day to the deniers. Who deny the day of recompense? None deny except who is sinful transgressor. And here later we see how they denied and how the wretched one will be. But what about the people who get the mixture of tasneem and spring, which those near to Allah drink? Because they will be going to Jannah, and the musk and the beautiful things they will be given. In shiqaq is a samau shaqqat, when the sky has split open and has responded to it, Lord was obliged to do so, when the earth has been extended and cast out within and relinquished. And here there are more signs about how it's going to be burned ablaze and cry out of destruction and so on. When Quran is recited to them, they do not prostrate to Allah. Who? The disbelievers, talking about that. And here in Suratul Buruj, وَالسَّمَاءُ ذَاتِ الْبُرُوجِ, by the sky containing great stars, by the promised day. What is that? Day of judgment. Cursed were the companions of the trench. Which trench? The trench containing the fire full of fuel. And there's a longer hadith regarding that trench, like a boy who used to learn the one from the righteous person and one from the magician, and he became righteous, and the person who were magician he want to kill, and in cut short I'm just explaining, he said, if you believe in one Allah and say Bismillah and you target and try to kill me, then I'll be killed, because he was trying to kill that person, that boy, and it happened when he said Bismillah and tried to kill, and he was killed, and then he thrown into the trench and burn it. And Allahumma kfinihim bima shitta, he recite that dua. And then here we learn so many lessons Hal ataka hadithu junud, and has they reached you the story of the soldiers, Fir'aun and Samud and so on. But this is an honored Quran, talking about the Quran is so honored. Surah At-Tariq, was-sama'u tariq, wama adraka ma tariq, nujum as-saqib. But the sky and the night and qamar, and what can make you know what is night qamar, and how the piercing stars and different signs, how it will be emerging from between the backbone and the ribs. Here he has created from a fluid ejected, means khuliqa min ma'in dafiq, how the human being has been created. And in ayah number 17, so allow time for the disbelievers, leave them a while. Suratul A'la, and Sabbihi Rabbismik Rabbikal A'la, exalt the name of your Lord the Most High. Suratul A'la and Suratul Ghashiyah, these are the two surahs that Prophet ﷺ recite very frequently together in both Eid prayers. Prophet ﷺ would recite these two surahs even in Jummah Salah. So, Allazi khalaqa fasawwa, who created and proportionate, and who destined and guided, who brings out the pasture and makes it black stubble. And here, very beautiful surah, Qad aflaha man tazakka, he has certainly succeeded who purifies himself. Wa zakara asma rabbika rabbihi fasalla, and mention the name of his Lord and praise. And here in the end, Suhuf Ibrahim wa Musa, the scripture of Ibrahim and Musa. Suratul Ghashiyah, has there reached you the report of overwhelming event? Calamity, disaster will overtake on the day of judgment. Some faces that they will be humbled, working hard, exhaust. They will enter to burn into intensely hot fire. They will be given drink from a boiling spring. For them there will be no food except from a poisonous thorny plant, zakum. And other faces that they will be show pleasure, na'ima. With their effort they are satisfied. Fi jannatin aliyah, in an elevated garden. Fiha aynun jariya, within flowing spring, cushions, nice cups to drink. And they not look at the camels, how they are created. Now the topic changes, at the sky, how it's raised. Suratul Fajr, wal-layal wa shafil watr, and by the dawn, by the 10 nights. These are the first days and nights of the Zulhijjah. By the even numbers and the odd. By layla iza yasr, by the night when it passes. And here, hal fi zalika qasmun li zil hajr, is there not in all that an oath sufficient for the one perception? And here this is beautifully mentioned how insan is watakuluna tuhibbuna kalla iza dukkatil arda dakka. And when the earth has been leveled, pounded and crushed. And later here, see in ayah number 24, yaquluna ya laytana qaddamtu li hayati, he will say, oh, I wish I had sent ahead some good for my life, after death. Yawma idhin la yu'azzibu azabuha ahada, so on the day none will punish severely his punishment, none will bind severely his binding. Irji ila rabbika radiya mardiyatan, return to your Lord, will please and pleasing to Allah. Fadkhulil fil ibadi, and enter among my righteous servants. Wadkhulil jannati, enter my paradise. So beautifully they are honored. Suratul Balad, la uqsimu bihazal balad, so no, I swear by this city. Which city is it? Makkah. And you, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, are free of restrictions in the city, meaning in this holy land your life and honor are not secure. How ironic, in a holy land your life is in danger. And this is ironic that in this land people, their lives are in danger. وَوَالِدٍ وَمَا وَلَدٍ, and by the Father which was born of him, we have certainly created man into hardship. And later it mentioned وَحَدَيْنَا نَجْدَيْنِ, and have shown him the two ways. meaning Allah has guided each person what is right and what is wrong, hidayah and dalalat, and of feeding on the day of severe hunger, an orphan, near relation. Again, talking about orphan and needy person, and we should, look into this, and ulaika ashabul maimana, the companions of the right. But again, those who disbelieved in the signs. Surah Shams, by the sun and its brightness, by the moon when it follows it, by the day when it displays it, by the night when it covers it, and the sky who constructed it. Wal arda wama tahaha, by the earth who spreads it. So different signs. Suratul Layl, wal layla iza yaksha, wal nahara iza tajalla, by the night when it covers, by the day when it appears, clear and bright. He who created the male and female. And here indeed your efforts are diverse as for who gives and fear Allah. And here, but as for who withholds and considers himself free of need and denies the best reward, we will ease him towards difficulty. Because they will be easing difficulty, and what will his wealth avail him when he falls? Indeed, upon us is guidance. And later we see in the end, Wama Ali Ahadin, and not giving for anyone who has done him a favor to be rewarded, but only seeking the countenance of his Lord. Wala Saufa Yarda, and the Lord is going to be satisfied. Surah Duha, by the morning brightness, night which covers darknesses, and Lord has not taken leave of you, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Here also different signs has been alam yajita yati fa'awa. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is reminded his past when he was a yatim. Did Allah not find you an orphan and gave you refuge? He found you lost and guided you. He found you poor and made you self-sufficient. Then Surah Ash-Sharh, Alam Nashra Laka Sadrak. O Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, did we not expand for you your chest? Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is reminded, you had tightness in your chest, and we removed the stress, and we removed from you the burden and all the constriction in your heart, and which had weighed upon on your back. And warafana laka zikrat, and we raised high for you your zikr. When we see zikr of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it's all over the world every time. Then we proclaim azan, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam's name is there. And also after the azan, when we make dua in that also, for indeed with hardship will be ease. Inna ma'al usri yusra. Surah Teen, by the fig and the olives, and by the Mount Sinai, by the secure city, all the doing the qasam here. We have certainly created man in the best of the stature. And so what you have caused you to deny the recompense, why you are denying it. But here in Surah Al-Alaq, Iqra bismi rabbika allazi khalaq, the first the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam heard from Jibreel alayhi salam these words. He created man from a clinging substance. Recite to your Lord the most generous, who taught by the pen, Allamal insana malam yalam. And here we learn so many things. Do not obey, but prostrate and draw near to Allah. And here later we learn in Surah Al-Qadr, this is about Laylatul Qadr. Inna anzalnahu fi Laylatul Qadr. How Quran was revealed during the night of decree, that is in the Lawh Mahfuz. And what can make you, what is the night of decree, is better than 1,000 months. And what will happen? Angels and spirit descend by the permission of the Lord for every matter. And that angels will be so much like pebbles, piece it until the emergence of the dawn. So till the Fajr time, it's going to be angels everywhere. The Prophet ﷺ said, there has come to you Ramadan, a blessed month. Allah has a night which is better than 1,000 months. Whoever is deprived of goodness is indeed deprived. What is that? Laylatul Qadr. And Surah Al-Bayyinah, those who disbelieving among the people of scripture and polytheists will not be parted from the disbeliefs until they come to the clear evidence. A messenger from Allah reciting purified scriptures, fihi kutubin qayyimah, within which are correct writings. This is talking about the Quran. And Suratul Zalzala is a Zulzilatil Arda Zilzalaha, when the earth is shaken with final earthquake, and how the convulsion will be, how the day will be, and how earthquake will report, and earthquake will act whatever Allah has commanded to do, and earthquake will be done, like that's how it will be done. Suratul Adiyat, by the races, panting, and the produce of the sparks when striking, and the charges at dawn, how they are going in the way, the same way we should go into the way of Allah, how the horses are going, even though they can be dead in that way, but still they are panting and running. And Suratul Qariya, Mama Qariya, the striking calamity. And what can you make striking calamity means? When people will be like moths dispersed, and the mountains will be like a wool, how the fluffy thing will be, it will be blown. And here signs of the Qiyamahs are mentioned. And Takasur, Al-Hakum al-Takasur, here talking about, worldly increase, diverse, competition in the worldly things until they visit the graveyard mill, until they die. Now you are going to know, means when they die, they will know what they are doing. And Suratul Asr, by the time, and this is a beautiful surah, whenever you end anything, just recite Suratul Asr. And in this surah, by time, indeed mankind is in loss, except for those who believe and done righteous deeds, and advise each other to truth, and advise each other to patience. So we have seen believing, doing righteous deeds, and advising for the good, and also doing the patience. 4 things we have learned from this. And Suratul Humaza, Wailul likulli humazatil lumaza, woe to every scorner and mocker, and who collects wealth and continuously counts it. Yahsaba, he thinks that this wealth will make him immortal. No, he will surely be thrown into the crusher. And here in Suratul Fil, have you considered, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, how your Lord dealt with the companions of the elephant? Did he not make their plan into misguidance? How the birds flock and they were killed, the people were killed. Suratul Quraysh, li'ila fi Quraysh, for the accustomed security of the Quraysh, and the accustomed security in the caravan of winter and summer, how they used to do the business. Suratul Ma'un, Araita allazi yukazzibu bid-din, have you seen the person, one who denies the recompense? For that one who drives away the orphan, and what he does, and does not encourage feeding the poor. And woe to those who pray, but who are heedless in their prayer. They are not praying, it's not said. They are heedless, who make show of their deeds. So we have to be careful. Suratul Kawthar is a small surah and beautiful surah, and so much nema has been given here. Inna a'tayna kal Kawthar. Indeed, we have granted you, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the pool of Kawthar. So on the day of judgment, the water of which will be whiter than milk, cooler than ice, sweeter than honey, and also more fragrant than musk. And who will drink from it? The people of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the people of his ummah, those who follow Quran and Sunnah, not the deviated, those who did bidah. No. Fasalli li rabbuka wanhar. So pray your Lord and sacrifice to him alone. Indeed, your enemy is the one to cut off. And Suratul Kafirun, this is, direct. Qul ya ayyuhal kafirun. Say, O disbelievers, I do not worship what you worship. It's completely denial. I am not doing any shirk, and nor are you worshippers of what I worship, because we worship in oneness, Islamic monotheism. Nor will I be worshipper of what you worship, nor will you be the worshipper of what I worship. For you is your religion, and for me is my religion. It's clear cut, it's very beautiful surah. Suratul Nasr, Iza Jaa Nasrullahi wal Fath, when the victory of Allah has come and the conquest. The victory of Allah has come means conquest has come, and you see the people entering into the religion of Allah in multitudes. But what you have to do? Fasabbih bihamdi rabbika wastaghfiru innahu kana tawwaba. Praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with the hamd and ask forgiveness. Innahu kana tawwaba, and do lot of tawbah. Suratul Masad, may the hands of Abu Lahab be ruined, and ruined his wealth will not avail him that which he gained. He will enter into a burning fire, blazing flame, and his wife the carrier of the firewood, and around her neck is a rope of twisted fiber. Suratul Ikhlas, and here we have to recite the Qul, all the Ikhlas and Nas and Suratul Ikhlas, Suratul Nas and Suratul Falaq. These are the surahs you have to recite day and night, especially whenever you feel like any fear or anything, you should recite. You make it a habit to recite this surah three times. Prophet ﷺ said, whoever recites Suratul Ikhlas 10 times, a house in Jannah will be made for him. Umar radiallahu anhu said, this way we can get many houses in Jannah. The Prophet ﷺ said, Allah has more than that. So, Qul huwallahu ahad, Allah is only one. Allahu samad, eternal refuge. He is neither beget nor born, nor is to him any equivalent. And here Suratul Falaq, Qul a'udhu bi rabbil falaq min sharri ma khalaq. I seek refuge in the Lord of daybreak, from the evil of that he created, from the evil of the darkness when it settles, and from the evil of the blowers in knots. Who is doing this? This is the kind of magic who are doing. So basically these surahs were revealed when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam had the magic on him, and the angels, they recited this surah. So if you have that thing, then recite Mu'awwidhatayn, Suratul Nas and Suratul Falaq. And Suratul Nas, Qul a'udhu bi rabbin nas, malikin nas. I refuge in the Lord of mankind, sovereign of mankind, God of mankind, from the evil of retreating whisper. Shaitan will whisper into the chest of the mankind. Minal jinnatil wan nas, from among the jinn and the mankind. Subhanakallahumma bihamdika nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. If any mistake it was from me, please forgive me, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So jazakallah khairan kaseera.